All right, folks, I'm Emma Jones and I'm joined by Nick Bright and Statman Dave. And today we're asking, how can Unai Emery best fit Lacazette, Aubameyang and Pépé into his Arsenal starting 11? Now, Nick's our guest on this week's Premier League preview, so be sure to check that out when it's uploaded on Thursday for plenty of in-depth chat with Statman Dave and I about all the weekend's fixtures. So, Nick, Unai Emery has a wealth of attacking talent at Arsenal. Do you think he should try and fit all three of Lacazette, Aubameyang and Pépé into his starting 11?
From an Arsenal fan's perspective, every single Arsenal fan that I have spoken to, absolutely yes. Yeah. Like we want to see, we want to see the most potent attack that we can field. And people are saying that those three are up there with Liverpool's attack, Manchester City's attack. So as Arsenal fans, especially because our defence is quite bad, the best way to win games for us is outscore people. So yes, to answer your question.
We could conclude that's a yes.
Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
So Statman Dave, what do you think the best forward combination is for Arsenal, given the players they have in their squad?
I think it's an interesting one. I think to fit all those guys in, you potentially need to balance it out with some more maybe defensive players in midfield. The only issue there is if you've got Guendouzi, Granit Xhaka and Lucas Torreira in midfield, there's no real penetration. There's no one to carry the ball. There's no one to play forward into midfield. With Dani Ceballos, they've got a guy that could do that. So I think it's about blending that midfield and then unleashing the three, or however they want to play it, the four if Ceballos is there as well up front. The only issue I would have is, how do you deal with that in a defensive sense? Pepe's a player that likes to stay high. Aubameyang likes to stay high in a defensive sense. And Lacazette does work hard. But how do you actually fit those guys in together? I think it's a big question.
What do you reckon?
I mean, if I knew the answer, maybe I'd be coaching Arsenal and getting paid millions. But you know, we've got quality CDMs at Arsenal in Lucas Torreira, especially for me, one of my favourite players at the club, because he's so small when you see him in real life. He's absolutely tiny, but he really packs a punch in that midfield. So I think he needs to be in the team to make it work. Matteo Guendouzi, he reminds me of like a bouncy terrier or something with his hair, because he's springing backwards and forwards, and you know, so he's got energy and verve. So you know, maybe Torreira, Guendouzi, and then Ceballos. I don't know. It might be a disaster, but that's what I'd like to see.
That's what you're going with.
Yeah.
Where positionally would you put those three to get the best out of them?
I think I'd probably go Lacazette in the middle. I think he could play a similar role to Firmino at Liverpool in terms of their front three. Pepe on the right, and of course Aubameyang on that left-hand side. The only issue there is I kind of have is that you still lack that ability to maybe have somebody that's going to contribute carrying the ball forward in a way. I think what we've seen with Pepe is very good at carrying the ball, but you'd argue some of his best work is when he's played in behind, and it is, again, going back to that problem of who is feeding. But you could also see it in a 4-4-2. If you want to throw Lacazette and Aubameyang up front, Pepe a little bit more defensively on that right-hand side, or even a diamond. Not sure which player would fit the best as a diamond. Pepe could be in there if you want someone that's direct, going to carry the ball. Lacazette's going to be the link man, a little bit more creative. So either a diamond, a 4-3-3, or even a 4-4-2. There's a lot of options for Emery. But going back to last season when he played the 3-4-1-2, when he played a number 10 behind two centre forwards, again, that could be an option for Arsenal if they want to play three at the back. So there is options for Emery, but I think it's getting the right, one of those systems will work with these three players, but it is trying and testing and seeing which one. Emery's a manager that does do that, so it's fascinating. Tactically, it's a fascinating proposition.
One option is going to work.
One option is going to work, but I think he'll have to play around with it and find out which one works.
So Dave, what about the young talent Reiss Nelson? Because of course he's back this season. Where would he fit in?
I think he's a very talented player. Did well in the Bundesliga last season. His goal record was insane in terms of minutes. But I think in terms of where he fits, I'd say Lacazette maybe drop out. Nelson to pull to the left-hand side, Aubameyang to play through the middle. And that gives Arsenal a little bit more of a dynamic threat. I think that gives someone that is actually someone that can play in that inside forward position, that can create, that can shoot, that can score. A little bit different to if you to play Lacazette and Aubameyang. Of course, the other guy that's done well in pre-season, done well in the opening few games as well, Joe Willock. Really like Joe Willock. I think he's an energetic player. The link up with Ceballos as well, where one would play number 10, one would play in defensive midfield, worked well against Burnley. I think the energy was good there. So I think Emery's also got this option that if he doesn't want to go for these older faces, Aubameyang, Lacazette, the classic front two, or played slightly to that left-hand side, that he can bring these young players in. It's exciting for Arsenal, right, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, I just love the fact that we've got these academy guys doing bits for the club. I was gutted to see Iwobi leave for that reason, because we all love it when you have an academy player who comes through, breaks into the team and does well. So Reiss Nelson gives us something different as well, because when players are young, it's like they have this they haven't been conditioned yet to think in a certain way. So like Reece Nelson is so direct. When he gets the ball, he wants to run at players and he wants to take people on. And as fans, that's what you love to see.
Thanks so much for joining us, Nick. Where can the people at home find more of you online?
Best one's Instagram. Just my name. No complications or underscores. Just Nick Bright. Easy.
Just Nick Bright. Yeah. Thank you very much. Remember, Nick and Statman Dave are on this week's Premier League preview, released on Thursday. So be sure to check that out, subscribe if you're new, and put notifications on to be the first to watch. You'll also get plenty more videos like this, so what's not to love? See you next time on Squawka.